Hi, my name's Amanda Rodriguez, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about venomous snake identification in the Rio Grande Valley, where I'm from. This is the order in which I'm going to discuss things, from different orders of reptiles to differences between pit vipers and elapid species in the Rio Grande Valley and how to distinguish between these species. So different orders of reptiles are testudine, squamata, crocodilia, and sphenodontia, which is only has the tuatera in that order, but it's kind of irrelevant because they're only found in New Zealand, so we don't really have to worry about those guys here. Differences between pit vipers and elapids. Some vipers are large and they have visible venom glands on either side of their head. They have a triangular shaped head or kind of like a arrow. Pit vipers are a subfamily of vipers and they have characteristic pits between their eyes and the nostrils on either side of their head. And they use these pits to find and detect prey. Um, Yeah, they have the same visible venom glands and also the triangular shaped head. And for elapids, some of these New World species look similar to colubrids in size and shape, except they have some killer venom in them. Um, so I wouldn't recommend messing with them. Some snakes that are members of this family are cobras, mambas, sea snakes, and coral snakes. Um, and some of them can also spit venom, like the spitting cobra. So, some venomous snake species found in the Rio Grande Valley are obviously the western diamondback rattlesnake, which is very characteristic of Texas. I don't think people think of Texas without thinking of rattlesnakes. Um, and then the desert Massasauga. These guys are a little more secretive and can only be found in certain areas. And then the Texas coral snake. So, how to distinguish between these guys? It would be helpful to first identify whether or not this is a coral snake or a rattlesnake. We can use the old saying, red touch yellow, kill a fellow, red touch black, friend of Jack. And the red and yellow banding, if they're touching, then it is likely a Texas coral snake. If not, then it's probably a harmless milk snake, which are often misidentified as corals, or it could be just another colubrid species. And this is an example of a Texas coral snake. You can see that the yellow touches the red banding. And also something to note about these guys, their little nose and the end of their tail will always be black. And how to distinguish between the rattlesnake species in Texas or the Rio Grande Valley, where I'm actually from. For the western diamondbacks, they have this characteristic diamondback pattern along their spine, which can be seen in the photo to the left. And these diamonds are dark with white borders. That's a little bit harder to see in the photo, but they're there. And then the coloration can be wide ranging from brown to yellowish gray, pale blue, even sometimes a pink color, like a slightly pink color. The tail has this characteristic white with jet black rings, banding along their tail. And that can actually be seen from a distance. Can see that when I road cruise, I can see that from my car. And as you can see with the Desert Massasauga, it does not have that. Western diamondbacks can reach up to 7 feet long, and they inhabit dry areas or areas with shrub terrain. And they also love crevices. They can be found almost anywhere in the valley. Massasaugas are a lot more different and difficult to find here. Um, yeah, they can be a challenge to find. They have these brown blotches along their spine, kind of like the diamondback pattern, but there's no like definite shapes to these blotches. They have a characteristic brown stripe from the eye to the corner of their mouth with a white line below it. And they can reach up to about 2.17 feet. And the areas they inhabit are basically flat grasslands. And a lot of this can be found at the coast. However, land development and land cover change does affect these rattlesnake species. And these are my references that I used for the photos and whatnot. Thank you.